How to avoid economic collapse. I want to talk about three perspectives on this. One, a physics perspective. Two, a chemist's perspective. And three, the perspective of the United States Coast Guard. To start, in the context of physics, Sir James Jeans, an astrophysicist, put forward a concept that we call the Jeans instability, where instability of an interstellar gas cloud will lead to a gravitational collapse. This also works in the context of economics. The more instability, the more likely a collapse is. The next perspective I want to talk about is the chemist's perspective. Frederick Soddy, a Nobel laureate chemist, also studied economics, and he suggested that debt would eventually eat away at wealth. This makes sense at the individual, organizational, and government level, as massive debts eventually lead to large interest payments, which would have otherwise been used for wealth-building activities and services that maintain quality of life. The last perspective I want to talk about is that of the United States Coast Guard. The U.S. Coast Guard has a motto, Semper Paratus, which means always ready. So in the context of avoiding collapse, one way you can do that is simply to be ready for collapse. And in doing so, you avoid the impacts of that collapse and also perhaps make it shorter. In the context of economics and policy making, this might look like the development of rainy day funds. It could also include the development of new capabilities to respond to economic collapse, new financial instruments to bail out certain industries or populations. In the context of a pandemic, it might be developing more robust emergency plans. To summarize, this is essentially a playbook for the Federal Reserve. One, the physicist perspective, which is to increase stability. Two, the chemist perspective, which is to decrease the amount of debt. And three, the United States Coast Guard's perspective, which is to be ready for a potential collapse to reduce its impact. That's my idea for the day. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.